The Village of Echoes. Have you ever called into the mountains and heard your own voice call back to you? This is the story of a village where echoes did more than repeat words. They revealed the truth in people's hearts. Long ago, hidden between tall cliffs, there was a place known as the Village of Echoes. Travelers said that if you spoke in this valley, the rocks would answer you, not with the words you spoke, but with what you truly felt inside. Some feared it, some respected it, but for the villagers, it was simply the way of life. In the village lived a boy named Sammy. He was cheerful, loved to laugh, and often played by shouting into the cliffs to hear what came back. If he said, "I am strong," the echo might reply, "I hope to be strong." If he whispered, "I am afraid," the echo would gently return, "I need courage." Sammy found it both strange and wonderful. One day, a rich merchant visited the village. He had heard stories of the echoes and came to test them. Standing before the cliffs, he boasted loudly, "I am generous and kind." But when the echo returned, it whispered, "I am greedy and proud." The villagers murmured, for the rocks had spoken truth. The merchant grew angry and left in shame. Sammy asked his grandmother, who was wise and gentle, "Why do the echoes tell people what they do not wish to hear?" His grandmother smiled. "The cliffs do not lie, child. They remind us that honesty begins in the heart. Only when we face our true selves can we grow." Sammy thought deeply about this. From then on, he began listening more carefully to the echoes, not just for fun, but to understand himself better. One season, a great drought struck the land. The fields dried, and the riverbed cracked. The villagers grew worried, for without water they could not survive. The elders decided to ask the cliffs for guidance. They gathered before the rocks and called out, "Where shall we find water?" But the echoes did not give a clear answer. They only returned words of worry. "We took too much. We forgot to share. We grew careless." The villagers grew restless. "The echoes only scold us," they said. "They cannot help." But Sammy stood quietly thinking. He remembered how his grandmother said the echoes showed the truth. Perhaps the truth itself was the answer. That night, Sammy walked alone to the cliffs. He whispered, "What must we do to bring water back?" The echo replied softly, "Care for one another, care for the land." Sammy realized what it meant. The drought had not come only from the sky. It came from the way the villagers had been living, taking more than they needed, forgetting to share, neglecting the soil. The next day, Sammy gathered the villagers and told them what he had heard. "The echoes will not give us water, but they remind us how to live. If we care for each other and the land, the rains will return." At first, some doubted, but when they remembered how the echoes had always spoken truth, they agreed to try. Together, they dug new channels for the fields, shared food with the weakest families, and planted trees to shade the soil. The work was hard, but they did it with unity. Weeks passed and still no rain fell, yet the villagers noticed small changes. The earth grew cooler under the trees. The riverbed held morning dew a little longer. Birds returned to the valley. Hope began to stir. Then one morning, clouds gathered above the cliffs. Thunder rumbled, and rain poured down at last. The villagers cheered, laughing and dancing as the fields drank deeply. The drought was broken. From that day forward, the Village of Echoes was known not only for its truth-telling cliffs, but also for its harmony. People came from far and wide, not just to test their hearts, but to learn how truth and kindness could bring life back to the land. As for Sammy, he grew wise and humble. He taught children to listen to the echoes not with fear, but with courage. "The echoes are not scolding us," he would say. "They are guiding us back to what matters. Children, remember this. Honesty is like an echo, it always returns. When we live truthfully, care for each other, and respect the earth, our lives, like the valley, will bloom again."